me, folks. On my most recent trip through the far trail, when I saw the bins, it occurred to me that I had told you guys I had some information. I had learned a few things about it, and I was going to let you know what that was. But then the monster did its thing, and I had so much video to go through, and I just completely forgot about it. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to explain what was happening here. Okay, so here's the story. It all started September 11th. I've been seeing this black pickup parked down in there, and just the appearance of how it looks. It's been down here quite a bit, and I was under the assumption that whoever owns this truck is living out of it, just based on appearance. I don't know the person, I don't know the situation, but I saw that truck parked down there quite a bit. And September 11th, I come through the trail, and there's these two bins placed there, keeping this particular truck out. Probably other reasons as well, but in this particular case, the truck can't get in. So that was my assumption. They're putting the bins there to keep people from driving down there, people in general. And these are West Cast bins. They have scrap steel on them. I'm not sure if they have produced parts as well, but I know that they're from West Cast, so I'm not concerned at this point because there's only two of them sitting there, plenty of room to get between them, and I'm thinking, okay, they're doing what they're doing to keep people out, not an issue. Then 5 days later, September 16th, I encountered this. The bins are closer together, and there's two more added on top. And my first impression was, okay, the first two bins sitting there was adequate. Why are you doing this? Well, I found out why. Somebody I know, him and his buddy, come through here one night, and they were drunk, and they moved the bins around. So West Cast kind of added a couple more on to make them heavier so that they can't be moved. But it ticked me off when I saw this because now I can't get through. Like they're gonna be blocking normal people come through. You come through here on a mountain bike, I don't even think the handlebars would fit through there. So you gotta go past them, and it's not an issue going past them right now, but once things start getting a little bit muddy, it's not gonna be fun going around these. So that kind of ticked me off a little bit. And a week later, on the 23rd, it's changed again. So the little one's taken off the top and set down at the side. So now the only way around is on the right-hand side, where it's going to get muddy. And I'm looking at it and saying, what the heck are they doing? Why do they keep moving things around? At this point, I didn't know about this person that I know and his buddy. Well, it turns out those two struck again. And they took one of the small ones off and set it down. It was kind of, they're making a point. It's like, you didn't stop us, we're still doing this. Now I'm looking at it, and I'm coming through it without knowing what's going on here. I can't think of an excuse in my mind why West Cast would be doing this. If they blocked access for vehicles, why are they making it so mice can't get through? This is what's going through my mind. It was upsetting me. And a couple days later, on the 25th, more bins showed up at the other end. And this kind of makes sense to me because when I first started seeing this black truck down here, it was coming in from this side and it was parking in this particular area here. So it makes sense to me that they would be putting this at this end, and of course there's lots of room in between them, not obstructing people's access to the community trail, which this is. and it's not a problem. So this one didn't bother me. So when I look at this on Google Maps, it shows it as an extension of Arthur Street. There is a street sign down there, approximately where the T is in street. I don't remember what it says. It doesn't say Arthur Street, it says something else. But to me it's an extension of Arthur Street, therefore it's town property. Westcast doesn't have a right to block it. This is my thinking. But I've been wanting to talk to a town worker about it, and it's just waiting to see one that's available to talk to. And it took a little while. But when I go onto Google Earth, it's not listed as a street, it's actually listed as the Wingham Community Trail. So I don't know, this one, it says 2020 on it, so I don't know if this is an updated one and it's no longer a street. I don't know. So October 13th, I finally spotted a town worker and talked to him. Apparently this land was sold to Westcast, and he's not sure what they're doing. He doesn't know what's going on with the bins. He said that he drove a lawn tractor through there. He didn't have an issue getting through, so of course the town doesn't have an issue, then there's no issue, right? So he wasn't exactly sure what was going on, but apparently this land was sold to Westcast, so it is their land, and they give access to the community trail. So I guess technically they can do what they want down there. So I got thinking about this. Apparently there was a house down here, and last year there was this opening where people were dumping garbage and that, and a couple of the Westcast bins showed up in the laneway there, and that was my assumption, keeping people from dumping garbage in there. So I'm gonna guess that's the only place along here it looks like there could have been a house, so I'm guessing that's where the house was when this was actually a street. So that sort of kind of explains a little bit, but it doesn't completely solve the mystery of what they're doing and why they keep moving the bins around and that. So it was shortly after this where I found out that, it wasn't them that was actually moving things. Then, the very next day, October 14th, they've added more bins to this end. Okay, now it goes beyond reason. This is overkill. Why are they doing this? And then I get to the far end, and, well... Another week goes by. It's now October 21st, and they're now blocking the area where people were going around the bins. It upsets me, but at least they left enough room for me to get through now, and people with mountain bikes can get through, and the person with the stroller, double wide stroller that I see come through, there's going to be room for them to get through here as well. But the problem is they keep bringing their machines down here with the big tires, and they're ripping up the ground, and everything's all muddy. That's the main reason I stopped coming through here. One, because I don't know what I expect from these bins, and number two is all this mud that's now around, and I just cleaned the monster off, and I didn't want to get mud splattered all over it. So that was the last time I started working on the monster after this, so it was quite a while before I came through here again. And this brings up to the present, now December 15th, and I came through, and nothing has changed. I forgot to mention in the last clip that I showed, the other bins at the far end were gone, so it was all open at that end. It's just this end here now. But nothing has changed since October, so it's been almost 2 months now, so I guess they're finished for the year. finish moving things around. So that's the story of the bins. That's the the best of my knowledge as to what's going on. I believe this is no longer a public street. It's now Westcast property, and they can do what they want, but I don't think they're allowed to block the trail for public access. So as long as they keep it open where I can get through, because of all the mobility scooters that can come through here, I think mine's the biggest. So as long as I can fit through, everybody else can. And I just hope they leave it open enough where people with strollers can get through. So I'm not going to make a deal about it. At one point I was getting really angry because it's getting less and less access, and I know once the rainy season got here that going around the bins was going to get really, really muddy in there, and it was going to be a complete mess. And I was going to contact Westcast and ask them what the heck they were doing, but the point we're at right now, I don't need to do that because it's no longer an issue. So that's the story of the bins. A little bit late getting to you, but at least now you know.